Hi everyone, my name is Dawn Macchiavello from the Counseling Center. My topic to talk to you today is engaging and integrating your thoughts. And I love this topic. And I love the scripture from Proverbs that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And what I believe that means is that our thoughts influence what we believe about ourselves. So that means our thoughts are powerful and they can produce an outcome. So that's pretty important. So the first skill I like to talk about is awareness. And awareness is just an openness and a curiosity about our mind, our internal worlds, like what's happening. In Psalm 139, King David asked God to search his heart and thoughts. So number one, we need to slow down because life can get pretty busy and we go, go, go. So we want to slow down, pay attention, and notice. So engaging our thoughts, what's involved with that? So engaging is we examine and we challenge. And we ask ourselves, is this thought true? And where did this thought come from? Like, what's the origin story here? So in counseling, we do a lot about traveling backwards. We travel backwards in time to our family of origin to kind of talk about what were the circumstances, how did these thoughts come to be? How did they, come to be in our life? So we often say that there is truth to these thoughts that we have. They were true for one time in our life, but they're not true today. So for example, if you grew up in a childhood that was maybe felt a little insecure, maybe felt chaotic, you didn't have a lot of control over the circumstances, you might have developed the belief that I'm helpless. So again, you were helpless for a certain time in your life, in your childhood. That was true, but that's not true now. So a lot of times we come into counseling and we talk about these things and we come to discover like, no, as much as it feels true to me in this moment or in that moment that I get triggered by my circumstances, my current circumstances, I come to know and figure out that, you know what, I'm an adult and I have agency and I have autonomy and I can do things differently now. I don't have to keep believing this thought that I'm helpless. So integrating, what does it mean to integrate our thoughts? So 2 Corinthians says we take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. So these thoughts and beliefs that kind of trigger in our brain over and over, they create what we call a neurological pathway. And they can be pretty challenging to disrupt because that's like a rut in our brain. But just like a new pathway in the woods, someone goes down that pathway over and over and a new path begins to emerge. Same things in our brain. God made our nervous system and our brain with something called neuroplasticity, which means that it can be reshaped and reformed. So we thank God for that. Again, this isn't something that we can kind of do alone. We kind of need someone in our life to help us with all of this, to kind of bring it to the light, challenge this, and develop a new healthy thoughts. And lastly, just the final point I want to make is to encourage everyone just to really do this with a spirit of self-compassion, because growth and transformation don't result when we are judging or critical or condemning of ourselves. We need that self-compassion to process through all this. And the self-compassion leads to like a healthy action step. So we just thank you. I just thank you for listening to this, and we look forward to seeing you at the Counseling Center.